This is the Real Pod Newscast with Levon Putney with a quick check on what's going on. So here's my man to get into it.
Thanks for listening. With the windy, colder weather pushing in, rain, even snow in the Midwest and Canada, the Canadian Premier League's first ever title game Sunday night played in a snowstorm, soccer in a blizzard. Turned on a TV. That was funny to see, actually. And it was a championship match, so the stadium was still packed with fans. No, they had to be cold, but it looked fun. Still not ready for all this just yet. Hey, Canada, Midwest, y'all keep that stuff for now, please. Get us into December before snow here in the Northeast.
My favorite stories of the day.
You know, just because politicians are in the public eye does not mean their private lives are everybody's business. A reasonable expectation of privacy. That's this legal test I was slow to learn in my college communications law class. However, there is a reasonable expectation to know about private matters if, say, for instance, the mayor of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, is dragged by his leg across a street by his ex-boyfriend, and the Miami Herald is reporting that happened Saturday before last when cops say the mayor showed up to his ex's home to talk, and that talk ended with the 34-year-old ex pushing the 72-year-old mayor, who then pushed back, and then the ex pulls the mayor to the ground by his leg and then drags him out of his home and across the street. Fort Lauderdale's mayor really made it public when he called police, who then filed a report, especially since there was a domestic violence injunction in effect between the mayor and his ex. And the ex is the one now charged with battery and for violating the court injunction after the mayor brought the smoke to his home. And as long as we're in Florida, may as well say I looked up this 40-year-old guy in Pinellas County to see, yes, he had a simple battery charge filed against him last Wednesday that I first read about in the Smoking Gun news site. So just wanted to verify their account that this 40-year-old guy walked into a 7-Eleven store around 8:30 last Wednesday morning, went straight to the bathroom to apparently drop a deuce because cops say he came out upset over not finding any toilet paper. Hey, gotta go. We all understand that. But what may be harder to understand is how cops say that argument turned into the guy pulling a spit-filled wad of chewing tobacco from his mouth and throwing it on the clerk's face. Yo, if that clerk did have access to more toilet paper, it was going to clean up her face and not this guy's butt. But the police report posted in the Smoking Gun said she still had some spit and tobacco on her face and clothes when they got there. So maybe they really were out of toilet paper. And if this guy was mad enough to be this gross, one would think he really had to go that morning. But hey, no word in the police report on how he handled that. But hey, cops said nothing about a knife, so he was likely not as desperate to use a toilet as this other guy in a Publix grocery store in Miami, Florida. This is where Local 10 News is reporting a 72-year-old man had to go so badly last Monday, the 3rd, that cops say he started banging on a bathroom stall, yelling for the guy already in there to hurry up and come out. And when the guy eventually came out, Miami police say the 72-year-old pulled a knife on him for being too slow to come out. Now, see, the problem with that was, well, pulling a knife on somebody is against the law, yeah, but there was a Miami police officer working security in the store. So the victim snitched. Didn't have to walk far for that, and by the time the 72-year-old came out of the toilet, hopefully feeling better, the cop was waiting with handcuffs and an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon charge, then took him to jail where inmates usually have to share toilets. You know, one thing I have learned while putting together these real podcasts full of dumb criminal stories is, well, Florida tends to provide a lot of these stories. So 2 things I've learned, and the other is somebody is always doing something naked, or butt-ass naked, is the direct quote from a neighbor to a Blue Earth County Sheriff's deputy last Tuesday, the 4th. It's when that person was describing their neighbor there in Lake Crystal, Minnesota, a 66-year-old man, who the neighbor said was outside using a chainsaw on some wood while hopefully protecting his. WDEF News 12 in Tennessee is reporting the deputy believed the neighbor because he then saw a butt-ass naked guy peek out from behind a shed. and told him he could not be naked outside with people and children passing by. News 12 said deputies then talked to 5 neighbors and all said he has made a habit out of bearing it all outside, to the point where one of the neighbors' kids said they caught a glimpse of him from a school bus about a month ago. Disorderly conduct is the charge the 66-year-old is now facing. In Buffalo, New York, last Wednesday, UPI is reporting a pretty porky pig was spotted running through a neighborhood street that afternoon, chasing after a few people who live on that block in Buffalo's Hamlin Park Historic District. So folks did what we do nowadays. They whipped out phones and started video recording as animal control officers and cops chased the rather large pig, who they found out is named Breakfast. Safe to assume a pig is named Breakfast out of an ironic love of bacon. So irony cannot be lost on the pet's owner, who named the pig and came out to help catch Breakfast and explain it slipped out from under a fence. He also explained he's a Buffalo police officer with a pet pig. This cop eats irony for breakfast. Back in a moment, but before we break, the Jams Podcast.
Blazing the best hip-hop, R&B, reggae, soca.
You can get the Jams Podcast mix on Amazon Music, Audible, iHeart, Apple Podcasts, and Deezer. Download the podcast for free.
It's Jams Hour Mix with Greg H.
Enjoy this brief moment of peace. Thank you for manifesting this peace into being. Brought to you by the ASMR Network, where every sound is a turn on.
And now for the world around us.
Last Monday, the 3rd on Germany's A1 Autobahn highway, the Daily Express U.S. version of online news reported somebody called police to report it looked a lot like whoever was driving this one car was actually the one being ridden. Yeah, they told cops what it looked like and that the car was swerving from one lane to another while the driver was being ridden. Yeah, other local German-speaking news outlets reporting the car at one point swerved so sharply it caused a truck driver to swing into the shoulder to avoid a crash. And whoever snitched, whoever called the cops, guesstimated the car was going about 90 miles per hour while the driver was looking pleased. Remember, though, 90 can be average on the Autobahn, which has stretches without a speed limit. Now, the Daily Express says cops eventually caught up and pulled up on the car that the person called on at a gas station outside Munster, and the driver, now faces charges for disrupting traffic. Now, nobody cleared up whether the 37 and 33-year-olds just looked like they were having sex in that car or looked like they were having sex because they were. Don't know. But we do know a conservative member of parliament in Poland was on a PKP intercity train last Wednesday between Krakow and Warsaw when UPI is reporting he whipped out his phone and started recording because, that's what we do now when we see weird things. Talked about it earlier. And a diaper-wearing sheep walking down the aisle like it's looking for its seat. Oh, yeah, that would qualify. The legislator shot video showing the gray and black sheep rocking the white diaper in between cars, looking like it was hitting something out of recording range with its nose or face until the door to the next car opened and it walked into the other car. Well, no new laws or sheep arrested in handcuffs. It is legal for animals to ride PKP intercity trains, as long as they're wearing diapers and have a ticket. A British Columbia small claims court in Canada just heard a case where a man sued his old roommate because CTV News is reporting she took $6.50 out of his security deposit because he ate some of her candy and another $119 for a cleaning fee, shared expenses, and $5 of those bucks were for a magic eraser. Itemizing, the man filed a lawsuit over this, arguing she was not allowed to do that without his consent under the Residential Tenancy Act. Well, the tribunal's ruling stated It may be true the old roommate was being petty by charging him for eating a few chocolates, but does not make it wrong to charge. So they ruled the woman was within her rights to keep part of her old roomie's security deposit, especially after seeing the pictures she took of how he left the apartment unit with the carpet not vacuumed to suck up all the dirt, wrappers, hair, and other garbage on and in the carpet. She says it took her 2.5 hours to clean up the mess that he left. You know, people should always remember if they're wearing or carrying a camera or lavalier or any other microphone types to turn them off or take them off if needing a break from a meeting, court hearing, or legislative session. Because in Scotland last Tuesday, BBC News is reporting a Glasgow City Council member was part of a planning committee meeting being live streamed online when he apparently had to go. Without remembering his camera is picking up the background of the room he is in. He was looking like he was holding a laptop. And yeah, they all figured from the angle and sound that he was in the bathroom. So another council member chimed in saying, before we start, hey, are you aware your camera is live? It was not live right after he said it. That camera was shut off with the quickness. The meeting is no longer on Glasgow City Council's website. City officials say they're editing out the councilman's bathroom trip before reposting. Back in a moment.
They're using this new laundry detergent.
Perfume, detergent, whatever, it's smelling good.
A sweet scent, the simple, most appropriate name we could think of.
Hey, excuse me? Yeah, can you not?
A detergent with a lasting aroma that even strangers may want a whiff of.
We do not know each other like that. Officer, please help get these people to stop sniffing me.
A sweet scent laundry detergent, irresistible.
What's the problem, ma'am? Wow, can I check out the evidence?
Stop, just forget it.
Everyone loves a sweet scent.
Unless you're wearing it. Then you've got nostrils and boogers all over you.
Available on store shelves somewhere.
What's up with what's going down, though?
Yeah, because we have cashless banks. Cashless banks. U.S. Bank is one of the institutions with these types, which have no cash on hand, and that is weird. Yet they're usually in supermarkets and strip malls and have tellers on hand for transfers, account matters, and banking programs, those types of things, which may have fooled these 5 thieves last week. They saw a teller in there because they rushed into a cashless U.S. Bank branch in Aptos, California, near Santa Cruz, south of San Jose. And KSBW Action News 8 is reporting the Santa Cruz Sheriff's Office is not sure if the crew stole anything. There's no money at a cashless bank outside of whatever may be in the teller's wallet or purse. So cops say the 5 left in a Honda CR-V, probably not happy with their lack of preparation. Somebody should have scouted the bank branch. Instead, 5 wannabe thieves crammed into a Honda CR-V after trying to rob a cashless bank branch and got away for now. But this digital age already caught them. A cashless bank for one, security cameras for another. All this is to say, bank robbers are having to update their skills too. At least they should if more and more banks go cashless.
All right, I love you, baby. You didn't say nothing but okie dokie. Now, brother ought to know better when a woman talks about something like that, you know? You ain't used to that. She said okie dokie, sweet me. I wasn't used to no okie dokie, man.
Done with the 90th Real Pod Newscast. Thank you for listening. I'll say it and I mean it every time. Really appreciate it. Have a great rest of the week. Back on Friday.
This has been the Real Pod Newscast with Levon Putney from Show Enough Productions. And for more, hit up the website, realpodnewscast.com. That's real with 2 E's. This is Big Daddy Marty Allen. Thanks for listening.
Never seen a pig in the neighborhood. It's like, follow me, and I'm like, get away, I don't know you.
Show enough.